Hello children, welcome to the class. In this class we are going to learn a story, prose, unit 3 in your term 3 English. So here the title is A Cloud of Trash. What do you mean by trash, my dear children? Yeah, it is all about the waste. So here a little girl, there are the main character in the story is Charu and her mother and her friends. So here let us start the story, my dear children. Yeah, let us. You can all of you take page number 109. Wow, you can see the first page, a cloud of trash. Let us start. So Charu was a smart and bright girl. So Charu is the main character. She was a smart and bright girl. She always kind to all, but she was unhappiest girl. She was a small girl. She was kind to all, but what happened? She was the unhappiest girl with her friends. She was certainly the unhappiest girl in her entire class. In the class, there are more than 20 children. But what happened? Charu is the unhappiest children in the class. Children, are you the happiest children in your class? But Charu was the unhappiest children in the class. So here she behaves, she is the unhappiest girl in the world. At least in she felt like that she is the unhappiest girl. And what about her friends? Let us see what her friends do. Charu had no friends. We are all having friends, but here Charu was a little girl, smart and kind to all. But what happened? She had no friends and she had no one to play with and play. So no one wanted to play with Charu. And for what? Because she had a cloud hanging over her head. What do you mean by hanging? Before her head, before her head, there was a cloud. You can see some advertisement in the television like the energy drink, there was a cloud. Likewise, here Charu had a cloud hanging over her head. And the cloud had orange peels, biscuit packets, broken toys, pencil shaving, twisted plastic bottles, and other colorful plastic bags. These are all the wastes. So the cloud carrying the wastes and it was hanging over the Charu's head. Imagine if we had a cloud hanging over her head, what happened? Oh, it was so terrible. So what happened? And also the cloud carries some buffing flies like the mosquito. You can see in the dustbin like the flies which are flying over the wastes, and it looks so so bad. Likewise, above her head there was a cloud and it looks like very terrible. And nobody wanted to play with Charu because she had a cloud over her head. And they think, they think like if a rotten banana peel fall on your head, rotten means what? It was decomposed. So rotten means decomposed. The Charu's friend feared what if happen when a rotten banana fell into them. So Charu didn't even play hide and seek because the cloud made her identify where she is, and no one is walked to gather her. And what happened? Her friend Sona is walking and she asked Sona to wait. But what happened? Sona ran away in the opposite direction. And in the class she asked to borrow pencil, but Jansi made a face and changed her seat. So she asked a pencil for borrow, but no one could help, and Jansi changed her seat. and she also eat her lunch alone. Move on to the next page number 110. Charu always thinking about that she would have listened to her amma. Her amma always told her to throw the wastes in the dustbin. But what happened? Charu did not take his mother word. So Rama said, if you don't throw the wastes in the dustbin, then the trashes will following you. And what happened? The next day, Shalu woke up. She found a bad smell and the flies over her head and the cloud following her always. She tried to sweep the cloud with a broom, but the cloud always following her. She screamed. What does mean by screamed? Crying. Fear. And asked the cloud to leave her alone, children. So Charu requested and asked the cloud to leave. But what happened? The cloud does not leave her. And she even tried to throw it in the dustbin. But what happened? It does not leave. Charu became very unhappy. So here, Charu saw Bala throwing a banana peel on the road near the park. He asked to throw in the dustbin, but Bala was fear about the trash cloud and throw the wastes in the dustbin. So, due to the words of Charu, Bala threw the wastes in the dustbin. What happened? The trash cloud became smaller. And Charu wondered, how did this happen? And the next day, Charu saw Amuda auntie throwing plastic near the hospital. Auntie, please pick up these bags. I'm sure you can rescue them. Auntie picked up the bags and fell, left away. And the next day, Charu wake up, she saw that the trash became smaller. And when someone throw a biscuit packet or pencil shaving in the school, Charu stopped them and she picked the wastes and put it in the dustbin. She picked up every twisted plastic bottle near the hotel and put it into the dustbin. What happened? The cloud became very smaller. She was happy. And she smiled. The village became cleaner and cleaner, and Charu's cloud became smaller and smaller. And what happened, my dear children? And until one day it invisible. The cloud gone away. And here the Charu was the happiest girl in the world because she had no clouds over her head. Charu never littered again, and she liked having the village clean because she cleaned all over the village. But she was also scared that the trash would come back someday. No, who know? Do you litter things in your village? So here the Charu was the little girl who had a cloud of trash, and what happened? Due to her activities, the cloud became gone away. So children, you must have to put the wastes in the dustbin or else the cloud trash will follow you. It's an amazing story. Thank you, my dear children. Let us meet in the next class.